Got the master cylinder in, and I'm just chasing some of the threads on this pedal assembly. Now these are some of the bolts that I actually can't find at the moment. I'm going to have a little look for them, but just chasing all the rubbish out of the 3 main holes that I require. That's all 5 chased out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. Found the hardware for that pedal assembly, and they're pretty much all manky and a little bit chewed up, so I've cut some stainless items down, just cut them to length, and I'm waiting on some washers that will hopefully be here today, because I can't put that back in there. Little task that I haven't been looking forward to and putting it off for a little while now is putting those tabs on to hold the electrical wires. So I've just drilled a hole, and the idea being she's going to do a little plug weld on the reverse side there. I'm going to lose a bit of paint obviously from burning it, but I'll just touch it up. Worried more so about getting bombers, little bombers in the paint there, so at least I can take the deck lid off and I can access it a little bit better. Going to hold it on by a magnet on this side and hopefully rely on this. It's an old fire blanket. Got it out of an old kitchen. Hopefully that might give it some sort of chance. Oh. Gearbox to the head. Oh. Bit difficult getting in there, but ain't too sad. A little bit more damage to that second one there, but that's okay. I've actually got pop-outs going into these rear windows here, so I'm just putting a pinch seal in, and hopefully it gets around the headliner there. Pretty sure I've got new seals for the surround of both windows, but it's just getting around to finding them, so I may just install them as they are for now. I only gone and found the pop-out seals and the little plastic covers that go over the hinges. I don't know if you saw the last video, I've had to buy this nut in especially just so I can get this steering wheel boss on. Now the existing nut, I wouldn't have been able to get a socket over that existing nut, so that's why I've had to buy this slimmer version. Now I'm having a laugh because it didn't even occur to me to check the size of the washer. The washer doesn't even fit down there. That'll work. Well, I'm slowly gathering all the stuff for the doors, and luckily enough I've labelled them up offside and near side, so I know what side they're going on. But just a general clean up and a lubrication. I'm yet to find all the other bits, so they're probably up in the rafters. Going to try and get this door mechanism working a little bit smoother. Doesn't appear to be working correctly at the moment, but I'll have a better look at it. There we go. It's getting better. It's a little bit temperamental, but it certainly wasn't doing that before. So I'm just working that lubricant in there. Hopefully we'll get it working perfectly, eh? Cool. So I've just finished this off with some white lithium grease. It's looking good. This stuff. There we go. One brand new seal into the pop out. Now that was just so much fun to do. Probably took about 2.5 hours, and I used this sort of tiling tool, the grouting tool. It's the only thing that I had to hand to slowly push the seal in, and I've absolutely mullered my thumb in doing so. Thumb and forefinger, numb. But at least it's done. I'm well looking forward to doing the next one. Don't try and put these seals in with a screwdriver, because one, you're going to hurt yourself, and two, you're going to scratch up your chrome there. I can actually see a few little scratch marks where I reckon someone's had a go with a screwdriver before trying to get that in. I'm cleaning up all these parts purely because the weather outside is pretty bad still, so I'm delving into them parts bins and seeing what I can get done. Can you hear that? Now I remember these being pretty bad, the old anti-roll bar. A lot of the bushes are tore up. Them sleeves are pretty bad on that shaft there. I think I've got another one outside somewhere. Yeah, just a little comparison. It's pretty tore up there, and whatever's bent that collar there, that's definitely not meant to be like that. Look at the state of that. That must have took a pretty hard knock. Blimey. So there's a comparison. This is for 67, obviously, the car that I'm working on, and one side's shorter than the other. You can obviously see why there's a difference in rod lengths. That cup holder there for the shaft sits a lot lower than that does. I actually thought that the Z-bar was a 1 year only part, but it did actually go into 1968 also. I'm sure the design changed, so I've got to check the other one that I've got, see if it's any better condition. Right, dug them out. These are the ones off of the 67 that I sold on, and there is a noticeable difference pretty much in the length. These ones are both the same length. Those ones differ. I was hoping that the rubbers were going to be the same, but they look totally different also. It looks like I might be able to use these though, because there is no difference by the looks of it in the height dimension. I can certainly reuse these sleeves. Just got to try and rectify that damaged one though. That shaft is a little bit crooked. I may well end up using one of those. There's all the other bits to the puzzle. It all needs cleaning up. Soon starts adding up when you need to replace all these little plastic washers and that. I've had to buy 10 of them. Obviously only need 2. 10 washers, they're nylon or some sort of hard plastic. £2.50, and a reputable Volkswagen company wanted £2.50 for just the one. Makes you laugh, doesn't it? Let me start with getting this one taken apart more so. I'll take the good one apart because I like I said, that has got some serious bend in that shaft. Wow. Now that's better, isn't it? So it looks like I'm going to be able to make a good one. Just going to clean it up still, get it painted black. But it's the other side that concerns me. I think this one's going to require a little bit of heat. This one's being proper stubborn. Here we go. Yeah, plastic sleeves messed up. Welded with rust this is. Chip it off. Pretty rusty, but at least that shaft doesn't look terrible in straightness anyway. Look at that. Haven't needed any heat on there as yet. Just a gentle art of persuasion. That is going to have to do. I'm glad these components seem to be in relatively good condition because I don't remember seeing these laying about, so they must still be on the car that I sold on. Just don't know why I didn't put the anti-roll bar back into it, but I am glad because I've now got all these spare parts obviously. Got all those components cleaned down and rust treated, and I've just found the actual bar itself. Up in the roof, found a Beetle brake line. May as well get down what I can for the doors. Got the windows there and whatever else. That's the hard line that runs from the master cylinder through the centre of the car, so I'll get that installed now. Let's get some black paint on. Now, someone suggested to keep your paint from going dry and getting that skim on the top, to turn the tin upside down and get a sealing rim around the lid. I'm going to try that. Okay, so they're all hand painted and I've got stuff everywhere, just waiting to dry. Absolute joke. I can't tell you how long I've been trying to get that clutch cable attached to that hook. I ended up taking the whole pedal assembly out, bringing the clutch cable through that access hole, over the hook, very small cable tie, and then poking the whole pedal assembly back through again. I would have thought that if your clutch cable went and you was at the side of the road or elsewhere, that it wouldn't be that difficult to get that hook over that cam as such, but it's done. Got the shaft centered up on this side and now I can start tightening it all down. The biggest mission is to actually try and find the little circlip that I need to hold that arm on. Back to the parts bin we go. Looks promising. That's that all buttoned up. Now I found a bunch of brake line, found some brake hose, so just got to plumb that section into the master cylinder and the reservoir. That's the hard lines cut and bent to shape. Just got to put the flexy part of the brake hose in now and find some clips so I can secure the hard lines to the bulkhead. That's better, almost like new. Got a couple of little deliveries. Let's make a comparison. I've got the pack of washers that I need for the Z-bar and a small bit of foam. The new washers are probably a little bit thinner, ever so slightly, but they'll do the job. So I'm actually going to cut out some new foam gaskets that go around that door latch. That's them marked out, just got to cut them now. Quite therapeutic listening to the rain and doing these little tasks. One and two. I don't actually know how important that those gaskets are on them latches, but at least I got them. I've cleaned up all the old paint that was on them latches also. That fits good. That's the reservoir bracket in. Shame I couldn't get that washer bottle whiter. Apart from needing some decent hose clamps, that's pretty much buttoned up, so I think I'm going to jack the car up, get some fluid in her. And at the same time I can get that Z-bar put in. Very, very tight in here, but I've got the car up just enough for me to get the rear wheels off. I'll get that Z-bar in. Just having to clean up a few threads for the bracketry, but my usual tool can't get in there, so the channel locks are doing the job. It's a little easier on the offside. The stamping of the panel's a little bit different, but still a little bit of a task. Done. Might get some new hardware for it though. And the other side. I keep referring to it as an anti-roll bar, but it just provides an additional spring action when them torsion bars are under load. Before it does get mentioned, I think I will revisit that chassis. Get rid of all that overspray with a bit of detailing. So I've dug the door glass out. Love the way that runner's been put in there. That's a fantastic job. Whoever done that. And this one, that runner's pretty rotten on that side, but I have got a replacement. Bought them a while back. I'll just need the one, obviously. I don't think I'm even going to mess with that. And the regulators just need a little bit of a greasing by the looks of it. A little bent up in some places, but see what I can do. In comparison to the other one, this one's just a little bit bent up. That's it. Straightened it up in the vise. Now let's get this coiled spring out of there. Just got to bend over these two tabs just so that I can wind it out and get it lubricated. Just enough to get it out. I don't think this side's ever seen any grease before, but it's working fine now. A little bit stiff still, but that'll work in. Bit at a time. Pretty rusty. I'm not in the mood to look at the price at the moment, but I just smashed the other window because that runner was really bothering me the way that it had been put in, so I was trying to get it off and it just shattered. So after smashing that window, I've decided to start cleaning these quarter lights down, and not too happy with the condition of the seals on these. So I think along with some new glass, I'm going to order some new felt channels and some new seals to go with it. Got a bit of paint laid down on that other felt channel guide as well for the door. Slowly getting all this wiring connected up in between other jobs. Got my diagram there, and a lot of it's from memory, to be honest with you. There's a few items that I might change out, a few lengths of wire that need a little bit of length added to them. But once it's all in there, then I'll start changing what I need to out. It's actually taking such a long time to clean everything down. I mean, a previous owner has basically managed to get overspray on every single wire and connection known to man. So I'm just cleaning all that off with rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer and a piece of wire wool. So that's where I'm going to end this video then. I'm going to go get some prices for some new glass, get some hose clamps for those brake lines. So make it better than it was. I'll see you on the next one.